It's totally clear. We have no interest to hoard excess capital. Therefore, having a dividend policy that is amongst the strongest in the industry globally and beyond, by the way, is the foundation. So 60% payout is very strong. Look at the proposed dividend is one of the highest that exists. Share buyback is the second order effect where we want to make sure that we support the return on invested capital and EPS grows over the next few years, which also has substantially grown. And then M&A is a third priority. And let me explain to you why. We are growing so strongly organically these days that actually the need to propel growth with M&A that's often expensive, that comes with a lot of execution risk, is less of a priority as we speak.
Very clear there. Let me ask you about asset management, another pillar of strength in your earnings today. You saw strong net inflows. Give us a bit of color on what's going on in terms of the inflows.
Both asset management companies of Allianz, PIMCO and AGI, had a very strong year. In particular, PIMCO has really outperformed its industry. We're very proud of the colleagues in Newport Beach. Their market share and net inflows has never been higher, and the performance for customers, which is the most important thing, has never been stronger. So we're looking forward to increasing earnings growth into the future. It's very important that we understand in times where people lose trust in institutions, into politics, into global states, in many things, people turn their attention to the institutions that they trust, and Allianz is one of them. So we are looking across the board, but especially in asset management, into sustainable growth in earnings.
Oliver, there has been some analyst commentary out this morning that whilst the numbers were very strong, the guidance has underwhelmed a little bit. You've got 2025 outlook targeting an operating profit of 16 billion euros. Is that conservative? Can you give some comfort to the community that might be a little bit disappointed by that guidance?
Yeah, we are an insurance company by birth. So we are by design conservative because we have to be there when nobody else performs. We need to be the rock. It's very important, and we will remain conservative. That doesn't mean we're not optimistic, but we would lose a lot of trust if we were over-optimistic. So you can assume that we've been prudent, as I would say that, with our outlook. In terms of the underlying dynamics, in terms of revenue growth, profit growth, and others, we are optimistic. But we need to acknowledge we're in a world that has ongoing wars in the Middle East and Ukraine. We have political leadership that's struggling to basically put the houses in order. That's not just in Europe, but it's almost everywhere. So we need to be realistic about the environment that we're operating in.
Well, on that front, how are you feeling about the outlook for Germany? Given the election result, we've got CDU kicking off coalition talks with the SPD now, at the same time that the Trump administration has just been hammering down his concerns about Europe and laying the groundwork for a very confrontational few months ahead with the European Union.
Yeah, we've had the movie before, right? So it should, for people that have a little bit of experience, that should be nothing new. We just have to focus on ourselves and our homework, and I think that commentary is totally correct. Now, to your concrete questions, let's not forget, Allianz knows and is residing in a country that's the only AAA country in the G7, just to put the facts in. So in terms of resilience, Germany is one of the strongest countries in the world. It has one of the best and most educated workforces. It has very strong industry. We face a lot of headwinds, but we are starting to face them from a position of strength. And that's something that people need to be aware of. And you see that in the earnings and the resilience of Germany's top companies, SAP, Siemens, you've talked about it in the session before, are all super strong because we are diversified globally. Now, with regards to the government, it's very important that it's formed fast and it starts to address some of the fundamental issues that we have that have something related to the fact of competitiveness. We need to fix our infrastructure. The education systems needs an overhaul. So these things are totally clear. They have to be done. So the thing to watch is, are we moving from talk to action? Is one thing that we would be worried about without getting into specifics now.